In this video, I'm going to be outlining 5 tips for DIY motion graphics. What's up guys, I'm Amanda Horvath and I'm all about helping business owners and entrepreneurs leverage the power of video without breaking the bank or taking up tons of their time. If you're looking to use video marketing in your strategy this year, then you should definitely subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I release a new video. Adding motion graphics to your videos can do wonders to upping the production quality of that video. So whether it's adding a lower third or maybe some swipe transitions or potentially just text on screen, these can do wonders. I have gone through quite the journey of discovering how to do motion graphics because I don't really have the time to dive into After Effects and attempt to learn it. Plus, I'm kind of not patient enough to learn another thing that's on the computer. If anything, I want to get off the computer and chill on the weekends. You know what I mean? So I've had to figure out how to hack my way through doing motion graphics. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys the 5 tips that I have for doing motion graphics within your videos. Tip number 1, buy mogrts. What is a mogrt, you ask? It is a motion graphic template. Mogrt, you get it? So mogrts are templates that you can use within Premiere or After Effects that is something that someone else has already created. They've already done the hard work in developing what this design looks like and what text is being used, how text is coming on the screen, or how colors are going across the screen, or whatever. The animation has been created. All you have to do is type in words and change colors. You can find mogrts on MOTIONARRAY. I specifically use MOTIONARRAY. It's a website that is $24 per month, but you can get 4 downloads per month. And if you wanted to just get a couple and then cancel your subscription, you could do that too. But if you're like me, you're gonna find that likely you're gonna continue that subscription because it's a really cool site. So ultimately, don't try to learn it yourself. Don't get into After Effects and spend hours trying to do it. Just find different ways to kind of hack your way through it. And my suggestion is to use mogrts. Tip number 2 is look for your font. Because mogrts are meant to be super simple, you can't change the font. At least at the time of making this video, you can't do it. There are ways to kind of go through and go into the system and do this kind of more complicated thing to get into the After Effects file to change it. But all in all, just look for your font to begin with. So hopefully you have a font that is kind of a more popular Google font and people have already created mogrts with it. This is going to make your life a lot easier. I use Bebas New, which a lot of people tend to use, and so it's been quite convenient in finding fonts or mogrts that have my font in it. Tip number 3, layer your mogrts. As I started kind of playing around with my mogrts, I found that there's still an art to creating great graphics even with these motion graphic templates. So the tip is to layer them. If you have a transition, then have your text graphic come on and then transition out of that with another mogrt. This can make your video a lot more dynamic and interesting rather than just using one. Plus, there's other people out there that are also going to be using these mogrts, so it keeps you a little bit more custom than just having to use whatever is given to you. So above all, just play with your mogrts and figure out ways to layer them to make them more dynamic. Tip number 4, add sound effects. Once you've created your motion graphics, you're going to want to bring them to life by adding sound effects. So if you have a transition off screen, maybe you add a whoosh effect or kind of something calculating on screen. You could add like a clicking sound or anything like that. There are tons of effects that you can find on YouTube. Just type in something like ticking clock sound effect or whoosh sound effect or ka-ching sound effect or whatever it is, and you'll find them. Then I use something called a 4K video downloader. This is something that you're going to download to your computer, and it helps you take away that audio, extract that audio from the video, and then you have a sound effect to add to your motion graphics. Tip number 5, export them. Well, of course I'm going to export them. What do you mean by that, Amanda? The thing with mogrts is because they are very new, Adobe and Premiere, they're still trying to kind of figure out how these work. So Adobe has updated multiple times since I've started using these motion graphics, and every single time the graphics are messed up, and it's very frustrating. So instead of having to deal with that, I highly recommend creating them within your Premiere file and then exporting them as a transparent video and putting that export into your video. It's an extra step, but it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. Plus, it's going to make it a lot easier for you just to reuse these over and over again. So I highly, highly recommend exporting them and having them be their own elements rather than creating them and just hoping that things are going to connect in the future. All right, so there you go. Now my motion graphics probably don't look as cool as you thought they did before watching this video. But the cool thing is, you can now look just as cool. If this was helpful, definitely click like and drop a comment below. I'd love to know what you are going to take away with this. And if you try it, definitely drop a link below and I'd love to see how your video turns out. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Go away, this motorcycle. Killing me. To creating awesome graphics within using, hold on. And because of that, my legs are falling asleep. There's now an airplane flying overhead. So above all, just play with your mogrts so that you just need to type in clicking, talk. Wow, can't talk. Done.